Minnesota not only had a great season, by the way, I think overachieving any expectations that general media had on this football team, with some meat on the bone, by the way, and some close losses for sure. They knock out Wisconsin and their bowl game streak of 23 years and running their rival, and they bring back home Paul Bunyan's axe, shutting down Braden Locke, shutting down Tully Walker, getting Darius Taylor going on the ground, which had been a struggle all year. Daniel Jackson getting his, Elijah Spencer continuing to look awesome. As his emergence this year has been so valuable for Brosmer's growth this year, in my opinion. Just an impressive effort from this defense by Minnesota. We were both on Minnesota in this game. We both like them. Um, they were plus 2.5 in this game.
It switched back and forth. Yeah, they were
It
plus two
switched
and a
back.
half, I think.
I think when we picked it, but yeah, I mean, just a good win for Minnesota and a great year. Terrible read by me in the preseason, I guess. Some of the things that I thought would happen did happen early in the season. Like, hey, I didn't think that front seven was very good. I didn't think the secondary was very deep. They stayed healthy. Wasn't sure what Max Boser was going to look like. Was he going to be checked down Triller? Was he going to take advantage of the wide receivers that he had? Was Elijah Spencer going to take a jump? I didn't think so, but there he was, taking a big jump this year. So a lot of things that Minnesota fans were hoping to project, or hoping that would project to be true, ended up being pretty true. So good for the Gophers this year, man, as they move forward, making another bowl game, hopefully winning another bowl game.
Yeah, they've been awesome. Obviously, as a Minnesota fan myself, very pleased with the outcome. Obviously, getting the X back, beating your rival here, going to a bowl game, that's the expectation. And I think they're going to keep a lot of fans happy. You're going to keep your job for a long time. If you are PJ Fleck, you saw some of the stars emerge today. Darius Taylor, 143 yards, a little bit more through the air as well. Brosmer played efficient football. He was the highest graded PFF quarterback in the country. I know his stat line doesn't look eye-popping. I know you thought he'd have more passing yards, but he was
He was
fantastic.
great.
And he was for all of November and most of October as well. He played really good football when they needed him to. You mentioned Les Spencer. Great by that front seven. I thought Lindenberg and Henderson coming up, stepping in the box. You had the safeties flying down. They did not respect, without Will Pauling-less Wisconsin, they did not respect Braden Locke and his ability to push the ball down the field. Yeah, and they stopped the run. A lot of good things happened for Wisconsin. It is tough because your schedule was brutal. It really was. Alabama in the out of conference. You have USC on the road. You have Oregon and Penn State. Right, those are games you're just going to be outclassed in, and you lost all of those. And then obviously you lose to your rivals in Iowa and Nebraska and Minnesota. So it is obviously a huge, huge disappointing year for them. But you also, like, you lost to an 8-4 team in Iowa. You lost to a 6-6 Nebraska team that was the best Nebraska team we've seen in a long time there. And then also this is a really good Minnesota football team you lost to as well as a couple of the ranked matchups. So yes, it sucks that you couldn't beat anyone you weren't supposed to beat, but it at the end of the day, like it's Wisconsin, right? Like it's the talent that was there. We saw the regression coming. You obviously didn't work out there with Phil Longo. It's just the quarterback getting hurt. It wasn't a great year. They have to figure out a lot of things in the offseason. I think, we'll see what happens with the coordinator position. We'll see what happens with the quarterback position and how they go schematically with Luke Fickell, but we'll see. I think Wisconsin fans are upset, deservingly so, but I will caution that be like, listen, it's going to take some time. Paul Chris left this place in a terrible position. They're going to have to recruit better than they have, and they're going to have to develop guys, which they need to start doing a little bit better. But for Minnesota, this is awesome. This is a huge win for them. 3 out of their 4, last 4 games against Wisconsin, they have won, which is the first time in a long, long time there for the Gophers. So very happy for them. The goal now is going to be retention. The goal now is going to be keep building on this offense performance. Obviously, you only get 1 year of Brosmer, which sucks, but you got some young talent in that room, and hopefully you can continue to develop that and continue to move forward passing the football, because when they're at their best, they can do both. And they saw that today when Darius Taylor, had 32 carries, but he had over 440 yards. When he has over 100 yards, they're a good football team. So he did it, and they won.